Hello and welcome to Follow the Money. I'm Raine Musñgi. Join us as we explore the tools and insights you need to jumpstart your financial journey. Mexico would retaliate if U.S. President-elect Donald Trump followed through with his proposed 25% across-the-board tariff. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said on Wednesday it's a move her government warned could kill 400,000 U.S. jobs. Mexican Economy Minister Marcelo Ebrard warned the tariff would also lead to lower growth and hit U.S. companies producing in Mexico by effectively doubling the taxes they paid.
Va a permanecer el tratado.
What the Secretary of Economy is preparing is, in case there are tariffs, Mexico would also raise tariffs. So it is a technical work that would also represent benefits for Mexico in the event of a situation like this. We have a plan, and I am convinced that the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement treaty will remain. The treaty helps all three economies, and this is known by all three countries, their businessmen, businesswomen, and their governments.
Se le coloca 25% de impuesto.
If we impose a 25% tax on the companies I have already described, though there are many others, this could affect 400,000 jobs in the United States. That is the estimated impact.
The proposed tariffs would hit the automotive sector's top cross-border exporters especially hard, he added, namely Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis, and push up vehicle prices for consumers by thousands of dollars. Mexico is the United States' top trade partner, and its automotive industry is the country's most important manufacturing sector, exporting predominantly to the U.S. It represents nearly 25% of all North American vehicle production. Canada is considering retaliatory tariffs against the U.S. in response to President Trump's new threats of trade restrictions. The dispute involves allegedly unfair U.S. duties on Canadian goods, a move that would impact cross-border trade worth $725 billion annually. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau described the tariffs as unjustified, stating that Canada would defend its economic interests. Meanwhile, U.S. officials argue that the measures are necessary to address trade imbalances. Coffee prices have spiked to the highest level since 1997. Prices have advanced 64% this year. Arabica futures were up 2.4% at $3.09 a pound on Thursday. Bloomberg reports the hike is driven by a supply crunch caused by adverse weather in Brazil and Vietnam, two of the world's top producers. The rally in the bean prices has spurred two Brazilian exporting companies to seek a debt renegotiation. Atlantica Exportação and Café Brás Comércio de Café do Brasil have jointly filed a request with a local court asking for a 60-day grace period as the cost of operating in the market has also risen. Retailers warn that this price increase will be passed on to consumers. However, producers argue that the surge could help offset losses from low prices in prior years. Industry experts predict the trend may persist well into next year. Bitcoin bounced by over 5% back to the $96,000 level, its highest since early this year. In the latest crypto rally, the digital asset hit $97,361 at one point before easing to $96,400 in Asia trade Thursday. The surge is attributed to rising demand from institutional investors and optimism following recent market-friendly regulatory announcements. Crypto supporter Paul Atkins has emerged as top candidate to become the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Critics, however, warn of heightened volatility. With Bitcoin's year-to-date gain reaching over 50%, some analysts say a correction may be around the corner. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or CFPB, is racing to finalize regulations on medical debt and data brokerage before the next administration takes office. The rules aim to increase transparency and reduce burdens on consumers, particularly in medical billing. critics argue the timing is political, with Republicans calling for the CFPB's abolition. Supporters, however, insist that the changes address long-standing consumer grievances. Tesla and ex-CEO Elon Musk has called for the elimination of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or CFPB, a longtime target of Republicans. The agency, established in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis, is known for protecting consumers against predatory lending and deceptive practices. It has recovered over $17 billion for consumers since its inception, but Musk, who has faced CFPB scrutiny himself, labels the agency as an obstacle to free market principles, while Democrats defend its role as crucial for financial justice. The controversy emerges as Congress prepares to debate funding for the agency this year. Pharmaceutical giants are pushing to dilute Medicare drug price negotiation rules just months after the policy took effect. Under the Inflation Reduction Act, Medicare can negotiate prices on select drugs, a move that the Biden administration claims will save billions. But critics, including big pharma lobbyists, say the rules will discourage innovation and cut into profits needed for new drug development. Data shows the U.S. spends over $350 billion on prescription medicines annually, nearly double the cost per capita in other developed countries. Republican lawmakers, in line with industry interests, have filed legislation to limit Medicare's negotiation powers. But healthcare advocates argue that this policy has already lowered out-of-pocket costs for seniors. In other news, a federal court has dismissed a defamation lawsuit against Fox News over its coverage of the January 6th riot. The suit, filed by a private citizen, alleged that the network promoted false claims linking him to the insurrection. Judges ruled that Fox's reporting, while inaccurate, did not meet the legal threshold for defamation. Up next, how cars are selling worldwide. Keep it here on BNC and follow the money.
Bawat anggulo ng bawat issue.
9 out of 10 Filipinos ang nais na mapanagot ang mga corrupt officials.
Bawat detalye ng mga napapanahong pangyayari.
September 23 nang simula ng Israel ang air attacks sa Lebanon.
Tuloy-tuloy na ihahatid hanggang Sabado at Linggo. Weekend Agenda. Sabado at Linggo, 5:30 p.m. sa BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. We are giving spotlight with these innovative business enterprises that shares growth in our community. We're giving these entrepreneurs a chance to boost their business in the market.
We hope that we inspired you to embrace your passions and strive for your dreams.
Let's join Mai Rodriguez together with different entrepreneurs to know their stories and challenges. Pathways to Success, 11 a.m. on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Ginalaw po kasi yung CCTV. Do you do that in PAO? The upper chamber was invaded.
You're putting me in a difficult spot. Well, I disagree with that. Hindi kami natutuwa sa
But
ganun.
baka fake news.
Laking problema nun.
Naging klaro ho ba sa inyo? May Davao Death Squad o wala?
There was an admission. Sinabi na niya yun.
They went there with one mission.
To kill.
We ask the questions, we tackle the issues, we clarify matters, and we get on point.
At BNC, 12 noon doesn't mean break. But breaking news, biggest stories, and latest updates.
The International Monetary Fund urges countries to implement fiscal tightening policy. Authorities raided a Pogo hub just hundreds of meters away from the Senate building.
Mai Rodriguez, newsfeed at noon on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Welcome back. Hyundai is recalling over 226,000 vehicles in the U.S. due to malfunctioning rear-view cameras. Affected models include the 2021 to 2022 Elantra and 2022 Santa Fe. The defect, caused by a software error, may result in blank screens when reversing, increasing the risk of accidents. The company is offering free repairs at dealerships, but consumer advocates say this recall highlights ongoing safety issues in modern vehicles. Well, Bloomberg reports Japanese automakers are rapidly losing market share to Chinese competitors like BYD and Geely. In the EV sector, China's exports have surged by 50% year-on-year, while Japanese exports have declined. Chinese companies now control nearly 60% of the global EV battery market compared to Japan's 15%. BYD outsold Toyota in global EV sales this year, benefiting from government support and domestic supply chain dominance. Japanese companies argue that they are investing heavily in hybrid technologies to remain relevant. Britain is proposing new sales targets for automakers to accelerate their transition to electric vehicles. The consultation aims to require a set of percentage of automaker sales to come from zero-emission vehicles starting in 2025. Advocates say the plan will help meet the UK's 2030 goal to end new gasoline car sales. However, industry leaders warn of cost pressures and supply chain challenges, particularly for smaller manufacturers. In the U.S., a Tesla Cybertruck crash in Piedmont, California, has left 3 dead and 1 seriously injured. Authorities reporting that the driver lost control, leading to a multi-vehicle collision. While Cybertrucks boast advanced safety technologies, critics argue that their bulk and design could pose risks in high-speed accidents. Here at home, the World Bank will lend the Philippines $500 million to help rebuild over 3,000 schools damaged by typhoons. Finance Secretary Ralph Recto signed the financing agreement with the World Bank's country director. The project will be implemented this year until 2029 and will be led by the Education and Public Works departments. Recto stresses poor facilities affect both students and teachers, weakening human capital, reducing productivity, and driving poverty. Hence, he says the government is prioritizing investments in resilient school building. The Philippines may have an active presence in the internet, but a study shows there are still a good number of people who do not have access to mobile internet. Sujin Kim reports.
As of August 2023, more than 113 million SIM cards were registered by the government. However, the Philippines still ranks among the top 10 countries in the world in terms of usage gap. According to the group's Special Mobile Association, or GSMA, 55 million, or over 45% of the population, do not use mobile internet. This is due to the high cost of mobile phones and limited access caused by insufficient infrastructure.
Philippines is known for being quite cost-conscious when it comes to users. The coverage gap is clearly a complex geography. The usage gap is also still high. Now, that is not unique to the Philippines. Countries of similar GDPs or maturities and economies in that same sort of ballpark.
According to GSMA, improving mobile and digital infrastructure will enhance the economy and productivity.
About increase of 5% in mobile broadband is like a 1% boost on your GDP. So there's a direct link between getting people connected, because getting people connected allows them access to education, health, open business.
One of the benefits of mobile internet are digital wallets, which, according to the GSMA, is helpful for the unbanked.
E-wallets offers an opportunity for people who don't have a bank account to transact digitally. And that's obviously very important, because I think it's not that many years ago when we had COVID and we couldn't go out, do anything, and the only way that we could transact was digitally. So enabling people to have a wallet is very important.
The big push around mobile money was connecting or getting the unbanked banked. In actual fact, the research we've done shows that in places like the Philippines and Indonesia, there's still a lot of unbanked, but they have wallets.
Globe is one of the leaders in integrating e-wallets and other financial services into national programs to promote financial inclusion.
When we look at what our real purpose is, we said that we wanted to be the digital enabler for the Filipino nation and for the Filipino nations to address the common day-to-day issues that they have.
Recently, Globe CEO Ernest Chu was also appointed to the GSMA board. The GSMA board is 25 of the largest and most influential telecom operators in the world, including AT&T, Verizon, Vodafone, and Dutch Telecom. Sujin Kim, BNC.
In London, Smithfield and Billingsgate markets are closing their doors after 1,000 years of operation. The iconic fish and meat markets will be relocated to a new site in Dagenham as part of a modernization plan. Now, while the move is intended to improve efficiency, many workers and residents mourn the loss of tradition and community history. City officials promise the relocation will create jobs. Finally, Taylor Swift is adding a new chapter to her record-breaking year. This time, it's not music, it's pages. Her self-published book, The Eras Tour book, hit shelves as a Target exclusive for Black Friday. The release promises to capture both hearts and holiday sales. The book includes never-before-seen photos and personal stories from Swift's monumental tour, which has already grossed over $1 billion in ticket sales this year. Target is banking on this release to drive foot traffic and online orders during the holiday shopping season. Industry experts say the move showcases Swift's influence as she continues to dominate both entertainment and retail. Critics, however, note high price tag of almost $50. Each book may be out of reach for some fans, but for some Swifties, cost seems secondary. Many have already flooded social media with reviews and boxing videos, making the Eras Tour book an early holiday sensation. And that is it for today's edition of Follow the Money. I'm Raine Musñgi. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel, always on top.